Alrighty there, another episode of the Home Cocktail Hour here. And this one has to do with running away. I'm going to put together a few clips. They're already recorded. Most of them are around 10 minutes long. I got my last government check yesterday, deposited, and I'm having a very hard time finding work in Southern California. I have a bachelor's degree. I have great work reviews. So in this little introduction right here, I want to talk about running away, but that's a matter of perspective, okay? That's a matter of perspective to the people that feel offended or people that don't understand, okay? What it really is running to something, you know? Yeah, these cities like Hollywood and New York and all, they get these kids from all over the country, you know, they run away from dismal homes in the Midwest or wherever they might be from. And they're called runaways. But the reality is, you're running to something. You're running to an opportunity. Running to hope, etc. Even though I have a degree from one of the Claremont colleges, I've been staying in a fucking trailer in Fontana for many years. You know, longer than my liking. Hello, Poopy. Good Poopy. Oh, Poopy. So, there'll be a few clips here. Okay, it's about 5 o'clock in the evening, very overcast, August 2nd, 2014, and I just did another hour-long clip. I got paid my last SSI check yesterday, and I feel good, but I also feel bad. You know, mixed feelings because I think I'm going to jet out of Southern California. I'm going to head up to maybe see my sister in Northern California, maybe go to Seattle after that. I went through some very strange and hard times for a while. We lost our house in '95 after a bad investment in a pizza store was made. Basically, it got nuts. I graduated from the Claremont colleges. But some of the fucking patterns that happened during this crazy period, you know, are still going on right now. And we're out of our hole. I mean, on paper, as a family, we're talking about as a pure family, we're out of our hole. But there's still some quirky kind of things going on. Okay, this land that I'm on was in a family since the early 70s. I'll do a panoramic, you know, so about an acre and a half. It's been a family for a long time. We lost our house, which was 2 lots over that way. And I just checked the Zillow, you know, the real estate app. And this place peaked out somewhere around $480,000 during the housing bubble. Right now it's about 280, which is still pretty good. But it's free and clear. But 10 years ago there were still liens because of the pizza store that was, you know, lost, and the house that was lost and shit like that. But basically, after my dad recovered financially, I don't like the way things turned out with my life, and my sister's recently complained that, you know, he helps, but he barely helps you enough to keep your head above water. You know, I'm kind of paraphrasing it. There's a simple solution. This place was supposed to be my inheritance, this land right here. That's part of the reason I came to live here, you know. Instead of going to my sister's while I was going to colleges. But I just did an hour-long vlog about control issues. And if you go to Google WikiHow, you know WikiHow? And if you get Google with the WikiHow how to identify a controlling person. That's what I talked about in that hour-long vlog. And that's what my dad is, you know, the way I see him. It's an unhealthy relationship. And part of the reason might be the way he experienced life. He was in the military, brought up with this idea of subsistence. You know, it's a basic, minimal kind of way to live. But I miss having friends, dude. I miss having barbecues. I miss feeling like a normal person. And I have a bachelor's degree. I have good work reviews, etc. I don't know why I'm suffering. I don't know why I feel like a fucking freak. I shouldn't. I'm going to go ahead and talk about philanthropy for a little while here. Somewhere around 2010, I'm reading Wikipedia right now, Bill Gates and his wife Melinda, together with Warren Buffett, you know, these wealthy people in America, they started this thing called the Giving Pledge. The Giving Pledge. It's a group of billionaires, and in order to join this group, number one, you have to be a billionaire. Number two, you have to pledge to give away at least 50% of your wealth to charity, you know, during the course of your lifetime or in your will. And there's no criteria about what the charity is, okay? And this guy was being interviewed on 60 Minutes, I think it was, Bill Gates with Warren Buffett and, you know, Melinda there. And, you know, they were discussing some of the issues. And I just want to interject real quick about the conspiracy theorists. Hey, man, I happen to be a 9/11 truther, by the way, a so-called truther. I happen to believe that there was something going on more than just the 19 hijackers, you know. Muhammad Atta was trained at Maxwell Air Force Base in Florida, for example. A couple of the guys had FBI protection and whatnot in San Diego, and there's a bunch of fishy crap, and there's something about the visas that were given out in the United Arab Emirates, and, you know, talk about drills. Vigilant Guardian was one of them. There were things conducted by the military, you know, NORAD and all. You know, something didn't add up. So, I don't buy the official story. So, just because you're a conspiracy theorist in one way doesn't make you necessarily one in all ways. But Max Kaiser from Russia Today, he hates the bankers nowadays, and he used to be this big wig Wall Street guy, I guess. And he thinks that, you know, Warren Buffett gets all this government free money. But let's take all that stuff aside. Let's suppose that this is real philanthropy, and that this is really the case of people that accumulated wealth and they want to make the world better. This thing called the Giving Pledge. Okay? I want to talk about something he said, though, during the 60 Minutes interview about, hey, man, there's criteria about you have to be a billionaire and you have to give away half your wealth. And it doesn't have to be when you're alive. It could be in a will, you know? But some people are doing it during the course of their lifetimes. And Bill Gates jokingly said something like, I want to know why people can't live off of $500 billion, you know? That's basically, if you're a billionaire, you gave half of it away, right? Who can't live off of not 500 billion, $500 million? Who can't live off $500 million, man? Which is funny. So we have some family economic problems, and if that pizza store didn't go under, and if I didn't have to live the life that I lived, I'm almost positive I'd be a regular person, not living in a trailer in Fontana. And I was expecting that when my dad got out of the hole, he was going to help me get out of the hole, maybe help my sister get out of the hole. And this WikiHow thing on identifying controlling personality talks about generosity, but with strings attached, so you can further control someone. And, you know, basically this land here is in the free and clear. This land's in the free and clear right here. And it's worth $280,000. I have a student loan debt, and I have a judgment, ironically, partly because of my dad. One of the professors took the stand against me at Pitzer College. Did a year in LA County Jail. While I was in jail, my dad has the same name as me, you know. It's basically, my name's Edward Elias Corona, his name's Edward, without a middle name, though. See? And he was paying my Sears bill, of all things, and he said he did it because he has to keep one account positive. And then, I didn't ask him to do this, by the way. And then one day, I went shopping so I could, you know, update my wardrobe, and I bought a bunch of collared shirts, and I bought dress pants, I bought a suit, bought some nice shoes and stuff, so I could get in the job market. And one day I woke up, and he put the bill on my windshield. It wasn't this car, but he put the bill on my windshield. And a big message that said, "You pay it. You pay it." So eventually, hey man, I can't get a job. I fucking can't get a job. I've been on SSI since the early 2000s. So eventually, those Sears, and they sued me, and that's on my fucking record. You know? So anyhow, we're coming on 10 minutes, and I like to cut these off at 10 minutes if I can, unless it's a special occasion. I'm wondering about, hey man, these people that have a problem partying with half their wealth and they're a billionaire, hey, I can't live off a mere $500 million. Why can't we sell this place? Why can't we sell this place? Why can't I even ask him? Because he'll trip out. Read the wiki how identifying the controlling person. I'm about to take off, probably to Seattle eventually, definitely to Northern California. And I'll be damned if I fucking die at this place. You know, that's the bottom line there. The solution is there on the paper. It's just not going to happen because of the personality type that my dad is. And maybe he'll change, but I'm not banking on that. So, hey, good luck, people. Good luck. I'm probably gonna post these possibly and keep them private until I'm gone, by the way. So, party on. Party on, man. Woohoo! No more cocktails, you have some vlogging, I guess. Hey, Cookie! Hey, Bobby! 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 What are you doing, man? What are you doing, Bobby? You got all that crap on your face all the time lately. Yeah, a little before 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, a little before 6 o'clock. Thursday, live, breezy. Breezy's good during the summer. Bobby! It's been a long, fucking, strange trip. Trucking, remember fucking Grateful Dead songs? What the fuck do I even know about the Grateful Dead for it all for? What the fuck is that all about? Hey, Bobby! I'm in the middle of a job search, and my life's taken a couple of turns here and there, and I don't want to rehash all the same circumstances and everything. Poopy! Poopy! I'm not gonna say it straight out, so it doesn't rattle, because this shit has a habit of... Hey, there's the other Poopy! Poopy! I have the habit of rattling. Finally hit over the fucking head. As I'm mentally preparing to get back to work, you know, I can say it straight out. I'm way better off thinking of the school I went to and got a bachelor's there. I feel a lot better thinking of Pitzer College as a cult. Pitzer College as a cult. That's where I got a bachelor's from. Pitzer College is a cult instead of a college. Anyone that's gone to Pitzer might, you know, think it has those kind of qualities. I didn't go there to be some whacked out extremist. But I was willing to go to the Peace Corps or something. I was willing to do, you know, some like Amnesty International. I was willing to do something like that at a time. Something international, maybe in Bangladesh or India or something, and live in a vegetarian society, you know? Some pacifist kind of stuff and human rights and all. I was more than willing. But, you know, you ever hear the term, you missed the boat? You missed the boat? Well, that boat fucking left, baby. That boat fucking left, and that's fine. And whoever left on that boat, hey man, wish you the best in life, I guess. But there's another boat out here, and it's a little more mainstream and pragmatic. And the more I start thinking to myself that Pitzer College wasn't set up to provide the things that the most extreme of the idealists over there, okay? Some fuckers are really out there, I guess. You know, I was part of a little group where the rhetoric was strong against the World Bank, the IMF, U.S. aid even. And that was back in the 90s, before Russia Today would cover some of these organizations as somehow, in spite of what they seem to be about, they're really a front for certain U.S. military operations even, you know, or sublimating this, or imperialism that, or whatever. So the more I think of Pitzer College as a cult, the easier it is for me to deal with life lately. I just came in from San Jacinto, watching a little CNN, you know, ordinary things lately. Fucking crazy shit, man. There's a little breeze out here. And since it's summer, the sun's gonna be up for a couple more hours. The breeze is real nice. On Cookie! Alright then. Okay, just fueled up. Time to get my oil changed. Just got my haircut. And holy shit, I didn't turn the shutter off. There to go the shutter. I just got my haircut. And let's put this right there for now. I'm gonna put the seatbelts on. I use Snapchat. I've been using Snapchat for a few months now. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, July 2nd, 2014. Been using Snapchat for a few months. And I was trying to send a Snapchat, and it froze on me for some reason. Okay? It was it said it was saving. You know, I accidentally hit the wrong button and it said it was saving my Snapchat for some reason. And then, you know, so I turn the Snapchat off, and you know, a few minutes later, you know, I checked the app and it said it's still trying to save something, right? Whatever I filmed. So, anyhow, so what I did is, I did what I've done with other apps before. Sometimes an app will freeze, so what you gotta do is delete the app and just reload it. Except that my Snapchat was due for a fucking update, you know? How they update apps, and sometimes they add more features. So, you know, my hair's a little shorter. Usually go to someone else in Archibald, I can go there today. She kind of knows the way I like it a little bit more, but I'm not worried. You know, figure I'm looking for jobs, and you know, get the haircut. It's like a symbolic almost, but it's also etiquette. I'm trying to be a little more clean cut. Clean cut for much of my life, and eventually went to a liberal school and grew my hair out and started having a goatee and all that. Eventually, and kept the goatee. No one had goatees during the 80s, by the way. 80s was a very mullet kind of fucking decade. So here I am. Been facing a lot of demons, by the way. You know, I had a professor that pressed charges against me, so I've been very reluctant to go to school. So I went to Claremont, a small private college in Claremont. But my sisters came down. She had laser surgery, and they wanted to check out my school, and we went to the career center. It felt good. It felt good to go there. And then this past Monday, right now it's Wednesday, this past Monday we went to a place where I was fired from. You know, I have years of excellent reviews. I have 7 years of pretty much excellent reviews throughout the whole thing. Got fired during leave of absence. The owners are very staunchly anti-union, and I was in the middle of a internship with the AFL-CIO in Seattle during my leave of absence, and I got fired during the leave of absence. I took my case to the National Labor Relations Board, and well, they said there wasn't enough proof to do anything to reprimand the company that fired me during the leave of absence, and that kind of lingered, left a bad taste, you know. So I got my hair cut, and you know, cruising along Route 66 right now. There's a temp agency I saw somewhere around Cucamonga on Route 66. So I might go check it out. See this place right here? It's called Aroma. See that? It used to be an Italian restaurant, and I swear to God, back in '98, right when my life started getting crazy, I swear to God, they had a flag flying out front that was inverted, you know. When the American flag's flown upside down, they say it's a distress symbol. And I don't think it was my imagination. I've been meaning to go to these fucking places and ask, you know. So before I got my hair cut, I was over here across the street from this high school, which is, you know, I saw a salon place, but they only take appointments, they don't take walk-ins. So I was going to try something new right there. The place I just went, I've been there a couple times. I think it's under different management now. So across the street from the place I just got my hair cut, you know, we're in Upland right now. I got arrested there. There used to be an impound yard. And I kept meaning to find the impound yard. So I've been driving up and down this fucking foothill. You know, anytime I'm in a neighborhood and if I have the camera with me, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna find that fucking impound yard and I'm gonna physically show people what happened to me. Because I paid to get my truck out of impound. The truck was parked down grade and it was too heavy. It had no gas in it. It was too heavy to push out the yard. The exit was uphill a little bit, man. See, this is Upland High School. So upland. That's Mount Baldy to my left. The grade to my left here, it starts to go uphill, and it's noticeably a significant grade. Especially this impound yard was dirt. It wasn't fucking pavement. So I figured one of these times I'm gonna go. And I could never find it. So today, right before I went in to get my haircut, I did a Google Maps search, which earlier today, this morning, Google Maps is not always accurate. I went to this place called Labor Ready in Rialto. It turned out to be a church that had a preschool kind of, you know, thing going. So anyway, I'm almost sure that the place I got my haircut from, I'm 99% positive that that's across the street from where the impound used to be. And what's there now is there's a Lowe's and there's a shopping center. I'm almost sure they tore the place down because I did a search for impound yards and towing yards in the area. There's nothing anywhere near this place anymore. At least not on Route 66 where I'm at, not on Foothill Boulevard right here. So let me see what's here. I'm looking at the time. I like to cut this off at 10 minutes. So I'm gonna 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Well, anyway, I was at that other haircut place, and they only take appointments. And it's right next to an MMA training place. Those things are relatively new, you know. Those things. MMA is a new term, I'm pretty sure. You know, mixed martial arts. Started with the UFC in the 90s, and the UFC started off with different disciplines fighting each other, but they all kind of melded into one kind of discipline. So anyhow, so I was driving down the street, and on the Google Maps it'll drop little pins, little red pins. If you put pizza, it'll drop a shitload of red pins for all the pizza joints in the area. Well, I pressed hair salon and went down the street and almost got my haircut at a different place, but by coincidence, that place was next to an MMA fucking place, which is weird, you know? And I figured, okay, well, I'm close to this other place, the one where I finally went, where I've got my haircut before. So, Round Table, I like Round Table. Used to work in a place near Round Table, and I used to go there for lunch. But not that one in particular. I've been to that one, but that's not where I used to go for lunch. Alright, it's coming on 10 minutes, and I'll cut this off right now, I guess. Alright, man, where are you? Okay, this is Homer Cocktail doing some vlogging here. Homer Cocktail. Look at the famous. Is it famous yet? It'll never be famous. On this block, it's famous to me. The famous leaning stalk, or whatever it is. Pretty cool. I did a piece here at Homer Cocktail 34 called, I think it was Mental Onion. Was this one? Was it Homer Cocktail 24? I think it was this one. And hey, the more I vlog, the more I feel comfortable talking about odd kind of things that I've been through or heard about or believed or whatever. I'm gonna hit one right now, and I don't know where this is gonna go in the Gumbo series. It's probably gonna be in the Gumbo series. I never thought I'd get arrested, you know. In high school, I was taking accounting and I was clean cut. you know, and pretty conservative with my behavior. And time went by, and I wound up in a liberal school, or supposedly liberal school in Claremont. You know, started playing guitar and did anti-nuke research papers. Actually went out to sites and talked to people and got involved in labor movements and stuff like that. And for some reason, these a lot of political protesters wind up in run-ins with law enforcement for some reason. But even then, I didn't think that, you know, that it would happen to me for some reason. You know, try to follow the law, and, you know, I'm not out there violent about what I'm doing, and there's a method, and generally peaceful with leafleting and picketing or whatever, you know, we were involved in. But in February of '99, I was arrested after paying to get my truck out of impound, and it was parked downgrade from the exit, and I couldn't push it uphill through the exit, and you know, I was accused of being on drugs, and I wasn't. You know, I wasn't on drugs at all. But anyhow, being that I was going to that school, and in the autumn of '98, you know, within the past few months before that happened, I was in Venezuela, and for an external studies program, and you know, there was an election going on, and one of the students was there talking to me about the CIA and stuff, and I started thinking that this is one of the ways that they recruit people, is, you know, through, you know, these study abroad programs. And she's telling me a couple of peculiar things about handwriting. And she was describing my handwriting without telling me, you know, that she's ever read anything necessarily that I've written. One of the ways I used to write is with a Y, but I didn't loop my Y, you see, or my G's, you know, handwrite, and, you know, the G just with a straight line underneath. And she was telling me that, you know, when handwriting experts get together, they that's a sign that you're not going to finish a project, you know. And there's some about, you know, some of my handwriting, especially my signature. Hey, you know, it's not really intelligible. You know, it's kind of just, you know, the doctors kind of have that reputation too. And she's talking about block letters, you know, which I write, my print in block letters. She says that means that you have something to hide. And hey, no big deal. This girl plays guitar, by the way. I wanted to borrow her guitar, and I never really got to so much as play one note on it, but I wanted to borrow her guitar, and I don't know, it would have been a different experience. I think if I would have brought a guitar, she brought a guitar in, fuck, man. Eventually I bought something like a guitar when I was down there, and I left it with the host family. But eventually I get arrested after paying to get my truck out of impound. And I remember, you know, they brought me in, and I remember yelling at the top of my lungs that I'm in the CIA. I'm in the CIA, man. And but yelling, not saying it like that. And there's one of two reactions that I was getting when I was over there in you know, Cucamonga, West Valley over there. One of the reactions is that they would humor me, you know, just go about their business, you know, when it comes to bring food. And by the way, I went on like a 9-day fast, didn't eat the food because, you know, one of the methods of the political protest. The other reaction is I've had my head slammed into plexiglass in there. You know, I told one of the guys when I got back from court, I said, "You don't know who I am, man. You don't know who I am." Reese Witherspoon, a couple of months ago, was on TMZ and other news because she told a cop in Atlanta that thing, "You don't know who I am." And there's a news reporter at Fox in LA here that when she was in Arizona, you know, I read this online that she had the same thing happen because she's just a news reporter and, you know, she got, I don't know, they fucked with her for drunk in public or something while she's on a job or whatever. So I told this fucker, "You don't know who I am," and I was trying to get every single one of their badge numbers. "What's your badge number? Give me your badge number." You know, I was pretty mad. But when strange things happen and you can't explain it, you know, in my mind, I didn't commit a crime and they're treating me like a criminal. I figured I must be in the CIA, you know. And why do I mention it now? This was back in '99 when it happened. Why do I mention it now? Well, being it's 14 years later here, 14 years later, it's no longer an issue. It's not a major issue. If it's an issue, it's because I write books and maybe I give that experience to a character in a book or something. But besides that, it's no issue. With that said, while I was there, while I was in there, and you know, I was in there for a couple of months eventually, they threw me in a place called the Hole, which is isolation. The Secret Service came and talked to me, Presidential Secret Service. And there was one deputy that said, "This is my first time since I've been working here, in the 4 years I've been working here, that someone said they're in the CIA, and the CIA came to talk to them." It was kind of fun. We're at 9 minutes, and I have one more minute to expand on something else. I was in there around the time of the Clinton impeachment hearings, and eventually, you know, he finished his term, and Kosovo was going on, and that's the Columbine happened right before I got out. You know, that's the time frame we're talking about here. Let's see here. I think I kind of drifted and I'm going to miss my point before the 10 minutes is up here. I got most of it out though. Look at that leaning stalk. Look at that leaning stalk over there. Pretty cool. That's all. Okay. Alright, doing some vlogging here. It's July 6th. July 6th. 2013. What I want to talk about? I want to talk about TED. TED Talks. TED Talks. I'm going to talk about binding and bubble jet. Bubble jet. Independence of Saturday, by the way. It's not even 6 in the morning right now. TED Talks. TED Talks. About half a year ago, I started watching Netflix. I started subscribing to Netflix. And I was watching this ABC show called Lost. I think it ran from 2004 to 2009. And that was mostly what I was watching the first couple of months, and I got to season 4, and I just kind of stopped there. Maybe I'll watch all the way through season 6 some other time. But I went a couple of months without really watching the Netflix. You know, paid for it, but didn't watch it. And for some reason, when I started watching it again, I can't tell you why, but this TED Talks. TED Talks. I think TED stands for Technology and Engineering Development or something like that. I don't know what it is. But it's, having to do with futurism and, innovations. And the first series I watched had to do with robots. I wrote this book called Thermite this year. And Thermite ends on the 4th of July. The 4th of July just passed. And it ends in Huntington. A little kind of spoiler alert there. But for some reason I felt compelled to drive down to Huntington on 4th of July. I don't know why. I did. Checked out fireworks and 4th of July is not the same for me as it used to be as a kid. And sometimes I wonder, is it just me getting older, or have the times changed? But the times have changed. The times have definitely changed. When I was a kid, we used to light fireworks. I don't know, when I was 5 or 6, I was able to do it myself, with a lighter and matches, and that's the way it was. And eventually it became customary for, okay, only the adults can light the fireworks, And eventually, a lot of fireworks are just straight banned. There's a lot of cities here in California where the only way you can really get the sense of fireworks is in the public displays. In Simi Valley, and I think Laguna this year, is the same company that's running them, but they had major malfunctions and people injured and everything, where a few shot into the air and then they start shooting sideways at the crowd and all. Anyhow, I've been doing a lot of cleaning, doing a lot of spring cleaning, and I like where I'm at. And I've been going through a lot of old paperwork, and I bought a shredder, and I got rid of stuff that, it's not worth hanging on too any longer. But there's some other stuff that I was able to save, and I thought it was useful to copy and everything, which is where the bubble jet ink printer comes in. I bought a scanner, and I have a laser jet printer as well, but the scanner has an inkjet, and the laser jet will go through like 2,000 pages before you have to replace the toner cartridge. But this fucking goddamn Epson scanner I got, it barely went through like 100 pages. And the replacement was like, something like $20. I was talking about existence, though. Existence. We lost our house in the mid-90s. Some of this was repeated. Some of these simple facts were repeated over and over in my different vlogs. And I started going to Claremont colleges the same year that we lost our house, and we were able to keep this land. But there was, certain issues with code and other things. And a lot of people have had hard times leading out of that so-called Great Recession. The 90s weren't that much better, I'll tell you the truth on that. Michael Moore made a movie called Downsize This. That came out in 97. It's about all the downsizing, and NAFTA was passed in the 90s, and Ross Perot was running for president. And here's the poopies. There's Poopy over there. Poopy's right there. And this guy's just waking up right here. Anyway. Ross Perot managed to get 19% of the vote in 92, basically an independent who later on went on to start the Reform Party. But he got 19% of the vote because he was anti-NAFTA. And at the time, the Democrat and the Republican were both pro-NAFTA. And a lot of what happened, the downsides, you know, well, supposedly it was expected. You know, we're going to make less money now, and because they're removing tariffs, and our neighbors to the north and south, Mexico and Canada, they're going to be making they're going to be better off. But as a continent, in the long run, you know, supposedly it's supposed to pay off. But, you know, there's all the downsizing and bad economy and, you know, all that. Talking about the inkjet printer and finding paperwork and print about 100 pages. I'm trying to regain my train of thought. Anyhow, hello, Poopy. Poopy. Whew. Some smells out here. If I'm regaining whatever thought or train of thought I have, you know, that's okay. It's almost 6 in the morning. 4th of July, we're talking about blah 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 and this and that. Sometimes I write stuff on my hand just in case this kind of thing happens. Anyhow, I might just close this off right now. Too often, as soon as I turn off the camera, it comes to me, you know, whatever the train of thought was. Talking about NAFTA, always the economy, and gotta repeat this, lost my house. Something had to do with lost the house, and something got sidetracked there. Times during the 90s, and talking about school. Oh well. Oh well, it's 9 minutes right now. Oh, Poopy. Anyway. So Saturday, and talking about 4th of July, and it's a little different. You know, just talking about Thermite, the book I wrote. Okay, that's it for now. Okay, here we are. Got a cup of noodles in this thing right here. Oh yeah. Turnover rate. We're going to talk about turnover rate for some reason. Went ahead and applied online to a couple different places. I'll come over here and show you what's going on. I just got a phone call from a place in El Segundo. I said, hello, this is Eddie. Usually I don't answer calls, at least I haven't until I started applying for work recently. If it's a number I don't recognize. But I went ahead and set aside my pride, started to look for jobs that I think are below what the degree I have, and that's fine. So this is a date right there. And I want to apply at no less than 1 job an hour. But if I let a few days go, I'm not going to kick myself. And as soon as I apply to 40 to 50 places, I'll be okay, and 90 to 100 would be insane. And I want to have a few callbacks within these next couple of weeks, you know, and at least 1 interview. That'd be fucking awesome. So right now it's a 137 right here. And at 103, I applied at this place called Hulcher in Bloomington. Then I applied at Big Lots. That's what I'm saying. These are places, I have a bachelor's degree. These are places that I wouldn't ordinarily think that, you know, I'd be working at. We're going to talk about turnover rate. And my thing just buzzed. Yesterday, I went ahead and loaded a few more work apps here. here's some apps. And you can see a couple of them I haven't opened there. But I've already started, you know, obviously there's the famous monster there. And then there's some up here. Glassdoor seemed to be pretty cool for a little while. And there's Find Rosetta. I guess next month, satellite's going to land on a comet. And that's just mixed in there for some reason. But like I said, I have a bachelor's degree. And, I want to talk about turnover rate, because this is one of those transitions. I was on disability for 13 and a half fucking years. My life got sidetracked pretty fucking hardcore, you know. I was making my way through the Claremont colleges, and hit a couple bumps in the road, which was fine up until a certain, you know, level. And here's, you know, I went to Pitzer College, and, you know, my name is that thing right there. And, transcript. Copy of a fucking transcript here. Here's, one of their publications, which, you know, this is from the spring of '98 when I was going there, and then that's when I got sidetracked. And somewhere in here, you know, that's me. It's me in that, you know, their alumni magazine. See, goatee, got a goatee now. So, you know, the thing about, here's a sidetrack, by the way. I got arrested. There's a booking photo. I got arrested on that day, 9/12/2000. One day after I started the job, and here's a copy of my diploma. Eventually I graduated. But while I was in jail, now keep in mind I look white, but my name is Hispanic. When you're in jail, they try to make you pick a race, by the way, you know. And the ones that they don't make pick race, by the way, because I was in general population, where you have to pick a race, you have to tell them that you're white. They call you wood, by the way. Or you're a paisano, which is south of the border, you know, immigrated, a person of Mexican descent. Or you're a Chicano, you were born here, you don't necessarily know Spanish, but you have a Spanish name. You're Asian, or you're black, and if you're gang related, then, you know, you might be Crip blood or maybe other. And that's the way this thing goes. And a lot of times lately on my employment applications, when they ask for my race, I put other, because the outside world doesn't agree or see me the way I see myself. But we'll talk about the turnover rate. Every time there's a transition, and I have one paycheck left, by the way. You know, I got a paycheck. Let's see here. We're in July. I started seeing a job counselor on the 9th. Skateboarder. Anyhow, a turnover rate. Let's talk about turnover rate real quick. Companies with a high turnover rate, you know, are, you know, high would be like 50% in the course of a year. Like half your staff is not there, you know, after 365 days, basically, you know. Whoever's here today, like suppose we have 50 employees, half of us aren't going to be here in 365 days. That'd be a high turnover rate. You know, there's even higher. But a good one would be 5 to 10%, you know, that you retain your employees pretty well. But I want to talk about friends and family, actually. Not that you ever lose some of them. But what I noticed is in my life, when I have moved from one city to the other, when I've started a new college, you know, go from Chaffey to Pitzer, for example, or even go from high school to Chaffey, you know, or, you know, what I have noticed in my life, or a new job, when there's a significant transition. One thing that you really can't help is that you lose some people. You don't miss them. Let's see, where's that? 7 minutes. And we're not talking about necessarily in the heart, you know, like I said, you think of them. We're talking about social patterns and stuff. You gain new people because of the new school or the new workplace you're in. And you'll regain people that you hadn't seen in a while, you know. And one of my nephews went to the beach yesterday. And they posted pictures on Facebook. It looked like they had a good time. I'm 43 years old, and, you know, a lot of the kids there, they're teenagers and stuff. But up until recently, if there was ever a problem, you know, that I was having, it was that, you know, sometimes I'd be invited to parties, and I'm like, you know what, like a New Year's Eve party, and I'm like, I don't want to go because it's freaking drinking and driving, and there's cops on the road, and I can't afford that risk. And I kind of stopped going to some of these parties, especially with the family, a year or two ago because of that issue. But I can almost tell that when or if, you know, I get employed again, there's always a possibility I crash and burn, I keep mentioning. When or if I get employed again, I almost expect my social patterns to change to kind of like a turnover rate with, you know, the employment. And I'll see these people at Thanksgiving, probably, and Christmas, a good deal of them. But for whatever reason, it's not just employment that there's a turnover rate. It's, you know, your social life, you know. Thought about juice fasting again. Once every few years, it's good to juice fast, and I could lose a couple pounds if I'm going to the workforce. Maybe it'd be good for my system. So that's all I got for now. Been in vlogging, or I haven't been in the mood to vlog as much as I was for a while, but, you know, touch base, keep posted once in a while. Alrighty. Okay, I don't know, it's about 7:30, somewhere there about. The sun's going down. This day went by pretty quick, seemed like. In the middle of job hunting. So, I mean, it's the end of July. I just got a phone a little while ago with my dad. What we're talking about here, I'm not talking about what I talked about with him. The unexpected changes in life. And the Beatles have a song, I think the name of the song is You Like Me Too Much or something like that. The gist of it, I don't even know how the song goes. I have a Beatles music book, so I kind of know these things. I have two Beatles music books, actually. There's like 300 songs and split into two sections, A through L, M through Z, or whatever. So here I am, I'm getting ready to do a vlog about the school I went to and issues of vegetarianism. Hello, Poopy. This guy got sprayed by a skunk yesterday, the first one. Hello, Poopy. So, you know, going through some of my memories of these vlogs, but I think I liked that school too much at the time. And it turned psychotic. It turned very psychotic. Because one of my professors took the stand against me, and I wound up doing a year in LA County jail. You know, I didn't do anything physical. I wrote an email and did a fucking year in jail. Basically, I was set to graduate in 1998. And I went through all of 99 without fucking them returning my calls, or, you know, they weren't like, hey man, how you doing? Or, hey, you know, we gotta get you graduated. We gotta have you graduate. It's quite the opposite. I tried to get a hold of them cordially, and nothing. It's just like dropping a fucking tiny pebble into a well, you know, nothing. So eventually, you know, things went awry, to say the least. So, So anyhow, You Like Me Too Much was the Beatles song. And I'm coming back to terms with being a regular person here. I'm not saying I wasn't regular before, but the school that I went to took, decided political stance, mostly left-center stance. Good old booby. I cut out red meat, and part of the reason, though, was, and I should save it for the next vlog because I have still shots. I want to go over this with still shots. But part of it was thinking, okay, man, I'm going to get out of this place in Fontana, and I'm going to be, traveling around with liberals and shit. I'm going to be going to India or wherever, these international places where people live off grass and whatever, I'm going to be ready to do that shit, shitload of brains and not complain about it. But it seemed to cause a social awkwardness. A lot of social awkwardness. And, I've been repeating this term. It didn't pan out. It just didn't fucking pan out. So anyhow, You Like Me Too Much. Here I am, ready to do this vlog pretty soon, before the sun goes down there, about how things didn't turn out the way I wanted them to. And I get emails. Now, I finally graduated. It took a long time, but I finally graduated. And I get emails inviting me to these socials, Tomorrow there's a jazz festival. A few months ago, it was Earth, Wind & Fire. Earth, Wind & Fire played for the alumni. And I'm thinking, wow, this would have been cool when I liked the school and before the shit hit the fan and all. There's this festival that they have every year at the very end of the school year. It's called Cahutek. Cahutek's a Journey song, by the way, the band Journey. But it's called Cahutek. And I went there, I think in '97, and I took a couple of my buddies, and one of them I had a bad falling out with. And one of the buddies had a brother that was just released from prison. He brought a knife, and he's like showing a knife, and he, had a knife on him. Like, lifts up his shirt, and I go, I don't know why you're showing me that. These are college kids, nothing go wrong here. You smell marijuana in the air, and the joke we always had was this Three's Company joke. Is that Jasmine? Is that Jasmine in the air? That was alright. It wasn't the greatest thing. And then the next year, the Cahutek came around again. And that same guy that I had to falling out with eventually, it was May of 1998, he just didn't want to go. I'd always do shit that fucking I didn't want to do around that guy. His mom required that he go to Mass. He was Catholic. Required to go to Mass in order to live at the house and, get free rent and, go to college, kept dropping out of community college classes in Riverside. But, it's like, okay, dude, I do your shit. And I was like, hey, man, this thing happens once a year. And I thought he had something important, something like special or something, because, I got other stuff. And I wound up going to his brother's house that night. The other stuff was, we played the Risk. The game Risk, the board game Risk. And that's about the time when, it started falling apart. We were pretty steady party buddies for many years before that. And then it kind of fell apart. We went to visit his family in Chicago a couple months later, and things just got weird from around that point on. There was some other shit too. The sex tape of his ex-girlfriend, and she split up with him. He said he's gonna mail a sex tape to her new boyfriend, and things just got kind of weird as all. But back then I was like, hey, I like this school, man. I like this school. I want to go to this Kahootek festival, you know. The festival was, you know, pretty much on campus out there, and you know. And now I get the shit, and I'm like, you know what? Fucking at best I could say my feelings of this place are mixed. At worst, I could say I don't like this place. It's freaky. It's like a freak show, right? And somehow my sister has been down visiting. She's getting stuff taken care of, like laser eye surgery and stuff. And somehow I passed the idea by them. Almost positive they're gonna say, nah, you know. And somehow, and maybe this is a phenomenon, or you know, maybe it's a theory I should develop. Maybe when people detect that you really want to go someplace, sometimes they're like, you know what, he wants to go, and I'm gonna fill out a place because it's gonna be his thing, you know. But I'm like, hey, fuck this place. I don't need it anymore. And maybe they can sense that in my voice, you know. Or you know, something along those lines. You know, how the conversation comes up to begin with. It's like, hey, you want to do this? Hey, you feel a difference in the tone? Hey, you want to do this? You know, instead of like, hey man, hey, guess what? You know, right? So I'm like, hey, you want to do this? Oh, almost positive they're gonna say no. And then they said, yeah, let's do it. And I think they want to go more than me. I really do. I have to find a job. That's part of the reason. See, I'm in the middle of a job search here. So we're coming on 10 minutes. My dog got sprayed by a skunk last night, and he stinks really bad. And that's all I got. Okay, welcome to the Homer Cocktail Hour here. Okay, it's about 6:30, August the 1st. Thinking about running away. I've already mentioned that in another vlog. I'm Poopy. And that one. Got my iPad with me because paid for 1 month of hotspot, and that ran out. But I have all these bike race games going on, you know. I can't let people down, bro. I got like 200 different games going or something. I gotta go to McDonald's or someplace that has a Wi-Fi. I gotta race these fuckers, you know, bike race app on a iPad there. Gonna go out there, do my laundry, because when you run away, you gotta have clean clothes. The other option to run away is try to get my forklift license and get a warehouse job out here. I'm kind of giving up on thinking my bachelor's degree is going to help me anytime soon. Correctly, this guy's trained to go to the corner. He goes there to the corner when I come to the gate. Otherwise, he gets tied up at the fence if I bring the car in, and this guy stays away from the gate too when I'm coming and going. Hey, Poopy! Uh-oh. There we go. Oh, I forgot one of my shirts. Hello, Poopy. Hello, Poopy. Something feels liberating about all this, actually. Not close. Sun setting out there somewhere. clothes in these bags. Mama, hey, little poopy. Some fuckers aren't listening out there. And my sister was getting frustrated about her life. I've been hearing this frustration for a little while, and if I can be frustrated, I might as well be frustrated in a place where I think I might be able to make it, you know? So we'll see what happens. Somehow here doesn't feel right anymore, you know? It's August the 1st in 2014, like I said. Probably 95% chance I'm going to take off. I need to go to my sister's here in Frisco, San Jose area. Sometimes the dogs will come chase me to the fence, but not today. There's my neighbor, I think, Scott. How you doing, Scott? Going to do my laundry. Hold on a second, let me make the U-turn. I'm turning it off right now. Wonder how it's gonna be when you don't know me. Well, it's gonna be Monday. It's gonna be. You know that song, right? This has been another episode of the Homer Cocktail Hour. I'll miss this town. If I ever get out of here, I'll miss this town. Kind of. Okay, welcome to the Homer Cocktail Hour here. She's leaving home edition. We're going to talk about controlling people, etc. Alright then. Controlling people, that's what we're going to talk about. And leaving home. Leaving home. Program says to yield. Alright? I'm not going to yield though, baby. Alright then. Okay. This has been another episode of the Homer Cocktail Hour.